Biz didn't have the time to go live. So let's make sure we get over the market. Let's see where everything is and see if we can assess a good trade. Hopefully we can pop in and pop out real quick during this live stream, but let's scan through the market and just assess everything, see what's good. So Bitcoin again continues to look like it's rallying even stronger than it was previously. So if we go out to the daily chart, I know it looks kind of chaotic here with all these lines on it, but you'll see we were about to experience a good sized pullback in Bitcoin. We had hit all the way up almost at 45,000 and had that 10% correction only to completely rebound back up. We're almost pushing back up to new yearly highs again, which is crazy. The Santa Claus rally has been absolutely stunning this year, and that's caused most of the altcoins, most of the low cap coins to go just as crazy. So hopefully you guys have been making some profits. I feel like I've been a little too bearish on this entire rally, but with good reason, If your account, like my portfolio challenge, we started this thing with $500. It's done a 3x since we started it. So we need to be taking some profits, in my opinion. Maybe I end up biting my tongue on that, and still, even if I have been taking profits, I'm 80% long. Only 19% of my portfolio is in cash. So I'm still 80, almost 81% long. What's good? No, you did not. We just started. You are 1 minute into the live stream. So I've just had this feeling that this rally is not going to be sustained, and I don't know if this is a gut feeling telling me to take all my profits, or if it's just me being skeptical because I've been bullish since literally November of last year. I started calling for everyone to be accumulating really through this entire time frame. This entire time frame I was making content saying like, hey, just buy, just buy, just buy. If you're not buying down here, like, you'll regret it. And now that we're up approaching $45,000 on Bitcoin, I've been like, hey, like, just make sure that you guys are being responsible with it. Just make sure you guys are taking some profits if you have life-changing money. Not everyone's listening, and we've continued to rally, so I look like a goof, but do remember that I was one of the only people out there saying, making sure that you're buying. And yeah, if you bought here at this rally, right, when Bitcoin back in August of 2022, you would have suffered another 40% decline. But ultimately, if you were buying Bitcoin or really any altcoins at this price, like, you're probably sitting pretty fine. You're probably doing just fine at this point. You had more time to accumulate. Nonetheless, when it comes to our investing and it comes to our trading, we don't fight the market. Go with whatever the market is doing. So the market continues to roar to life, so we will continue to be net 80% long. When things start switching up, I'll probably take some profits because I will be accumulating more DeSci plays as they continue to fall and go down in price. Right now, in the portfolio, the most recent coin we added was Gene, and it's down about 15% since we've been adding it, but I'm not worried literally in the slightest about that. So on the day, Bitcoin's just kind of been chopping a little bit. We've not been respecting the VWAP at all. Do you think it's an early bull 2024 or a regular cycle till 2025? I think it'll be fairly similar to a regular cycle, but you have to remember... Hold on, that's going to be a long-winded answer. Let me skim through the markets and see if there's any good trade setups, and then I'll get into it. I think people just have a misunderstanding of what a bull market is, which is fine. I get it. So Matic looks like a pretty decent short. Solana kind of chopping around, bearish a little bit right now, but not crazy. HBAR, ooh, XRP looks like a good short, not gonna lie. Right at the VWAP, been below the VWAP most of the day, so definitely got my eyes on that thing. Aptos, nah. Arbitrum, nah. Aave, oh, this is BNB. What happened to BNB halfway through the day? That's a pretty strong move. 3% move on BNB, that's a pretty substantial move, so something must have happened. It's a choppy day in the market, which is usually the best kind of day for my strategy to succeed in. So AVAX looks like it could potentially set itself up good here. Let's go back to Bitcoin, see if we can identify a micro trend, right? Because the altcoins are ultimately going to follow with what Bitcoin does. So we come back to the liquidity, see that there's a lot of liquidity that it looks like it's about to grab right below the current price. So that gives me a little bit of a bearish trend, which means that this XRP short is probably a good opportunity here. Is this the 1% rule that we go by though? Does this have 1%? It does not. So be very, very cautious if you're gonna take this. I think I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it. I'll probably go in with like 15x leverage on it and not get the entire 1%, but ultimately it's okay. It's okay. Let's check out IMX. Yeah, IMX has been disrespecting the VWAP all morning. So sliced through it once, twice, 3 times, kind of 4 times, and then we've been trending down a little bit. So IMX, I don't feel confident taking a trade setup with that. Of course, thanks for calling one out. It is definitely very overextended, and you can see the divergence between the RSI right now on the daily, right? See how it's been slanting down, but the price continues to go up. So it could be a little bit overextended. Who knows though? The entire thing is like I said, the entire market's been overextended for the better part of like 2 months. Do you know Bob Lucas on crypto Twitter? Well, what the hell is crypto Twitter, man? Crypto X? No, I do not. I might know his profile photo, but I do not know him. Hold on, let me get in on this trade. We got the, yeah, even the RSI is confluent with it. XRP. Okay, ready? We're gonna have a little run back up. I need my layer 2 or level 2. All right, I'm in. Cool. We will see how that plays out, but again, I'm just looking at my 0.5% here, so it's a little bit less than I would normally have enjoyed, but it is what it is. The trade setup was there, and so I'm not gonna look what is it, gimped horse in the mouth or whatever. Yeah, there's not even really a solid 0.5 here. But if we make it back down to here, I will be taking my profits. Okay. I like FLYN. FLYN. Nani? Now, let's go to Bitcoin and answer that question a minute ago. Let me pin that. Scoop doot 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 doot. What do you think of when he said long winter till 2023 after this bull, similar to gold ETF? People keep comparing Bitcoin to gold and what happened to the ETF after it launched. I don't think it'll be even remotely similar because they're so fundamentally different. Like, Bitcoin has not been around as a commodity as long as gold was when gold got the ETF. Gold, like Bitcoin, there's just some stark differences between them that I don't think could be overlooked. So it's cool to see that gold did a 3x after the ETF was launched, and then gold did nothing for 20 years. I don't see Bitcoin doing that. Bitcoin is not just going to do a 3x and then do nothing for 20 years. Could it? Sure. Everything's possible, but I don't see how that's going to be feasible. All right, now, this is not the correct Bitcoin chart. I got to go to the all-time history index, I believe. Yes. Let's go to the weekly. It'll be easier to view on the weekly because the cycles are very, very long. So on this chart, I've put a line at each of the halving events, okay? And then I even already took the liberty of copying the different halvings, the price action that we experienced with the different halvings. So this green one is the 2013, this green one's the 2013 cycle, basically, 2017 cycle. And then this one is the 2017 to 2020 cycle. So if we were to overlay these, okay, we will see that the best time that you could have been possibly buying Bitcoin was a year and a half before the halving events, right? So 500 days before the halving last time, the halving in 2020, was the bottom. Before the halving in 2018, you'll find that the bottom was 500 days before as well, except for this little wick that happened right here. This little wick counted as counted beforehand. Bitcoin went up 175% during this cycle back in 2015 to 2017. During the 2018 to 2020 period, Bitcoin went up 200%. During this last period that we just had, Bitcoin is already up 170%. To me, that's a bull market, guys. Price going up, an asset going up 160%, that's a bull market. Yeah? So saying that like the bull market's going to come in 2024 and 2025 misses out on all the opportunity we just had. I started this portfolio like 6 months ago. Well, let's see. I started this portfolio back in, May? Back in May. So a little bit more than 6 months ago. And it's up literally 200%. I started with $500 and we are up, I know this says 41%, but the entire portfolio is up 3x. We have been in a bull market all of 2023, and ignoring that is kind of goofy. I don't understand how people are still attempting to ignore that. Everyone's idea of a bull market is just this, is after the halving when Bitcoin went up 500%. And yeah, that's a bull market. That's spectacular. But you miss out on this entire rally, which made people life-changing money as well, you know? If you just look at that, you miss out on most of the gains. Like that's where the difference between getting Bitcoin at 15,000 and getting Bitcoin at 50,000 is like going from a 10x if it goes to 150,000 and you get in at 15,000, you get a 10x on your position. If you get in at 50,000 because you waited till after the halving, like everyone seems to be talking about, and it goes from 50,000 up to 150,000, that's only a 3x. You miss out on literally 7x there because you waited and waited and waited. That's not how I'm down to play. I'm not down to play that game. It would be crazy if we saw some of these. I'm not expecting this at all because we have the diminishing returns, right? Does that make sense for everyone? I feel like it made sense in my head, but at the same time didn't make complete sense. See that? These are the three different bull markets post-halving, right? So even this one that we just had back in 2020, 2021 says Bitcoin's going up to 230,000. Each time it's been less and less and less. So I don't expect that to actually play out. Maybe we see something where we chop around a little bit, come up to like 150,000 and then die down, right? But we're just gonna have to wait and see on that one. What are you letting the trade run to? Did the XRP trade play out already? Ooh, baby. Look at how easy that is. That's such a clean opportunity. I did not have my take profit or stop loss on. I just went on a little ramble there. No, as soon as we get there, as soon as we start showing signs of resistance, I'm taking profits. Thank you, Johnny. God damn, that timing was immaculate. Thank you. Can we get that 0.5%? Can we get that 0.5%? If we put in a lower low here, we get that 0.5%. I think 0.5%'s right there. So if we see it, there we go. I'm out. I'm done. Cool. All right, that was a quick little XRP trade. Let's go. 10% profit on 20x. Let's go, Johnny. Let's go. That's beautiful. I hope everyone made some money. That was the quickest trade that I've ever hit on this entire streaming series. And it's looking like it's just going to keep going. When do we know the tokenomics on Cryo? The tokenomics are kind of intriguing on Cryo, Steven. I don't, honestly, it was like, this is my gamble. This was me gambling. That and Axon DAO and Cryo were complete gambles because I did not look into the tokenomics on them. I just wanted to get in on the ground floor of two DeSci plays, so I might end up like really regretting that because that goes against everything that I usually do when it comes to crypto investing. But yeah, just being transparent with you guys. The tokenomics for Cryo right now are kind of intriguing because I believe they're waiting until after this round of funding to establish them, but I could be wrong on that. Me as well. That was a good one. MK, I'm glad everyone got to see that. That was a perfect trade. That literally, aside from like 2 green candles, we went straight down to the take profit. So, hell yeah. Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Did I make up for missing yesterday's live? I think so. Cryo's getting a lot of hype with its funding. Yeah. There's a lot of people talking about it right now, and for good reason. They have a lot of backing. They have the people from VitaDAO are someone from VitaDAO is kind of funding it or starting it. So it's like they have a good history and a good backing at Vita, and so that carries over into Cryo. There's a lot of bullish reasons for why I got into it. None of them were the tokenomics. Okay, now I want to talk about Sora, the Sora Summit. And again, if you guys see a trade, do you guys understand the trade setup that I look for? This was perfect. So somebody, while I'm ranting again, somebody keep an eye out for if XRP comes back up to the VWAP, and then we'll look for another entry point to short it again, so long as Bitcoin remains bearish. This was kind of immaculate, this little crash on Bitcoin. So I'm glad that we got to see the liquidity and see that it came right back down. Are we still bearish on Bitcoin in the short term though? It kind of looks like there's still more of a liquidity grab down here. So we could continue to see Bitcoin fall for a little bit. If that, stop moving that. Oh. If we do see that, maybe we come back down to this $42,000 area on Bitcoin. I would assume that most altcoins are still going to bleed a little bit. So somebody, while I go on this rant about Sora, somebody keep an eye on some altcoins that are potentially bouncing off their VWAP, all right? Let's make it a team effort. So, Sora Ventures. This is a conference that has been happening, and I think it just ended yesterday. One of the main topics was DeSci, and so a lot of decentralized science plays were there. A lot of DAOs and companies involved in DeSci have been there talking at the summit. This panel, posted by Valley DAO, we see Patrick Joyce, who is the co-founder along with Brian Armstrong of Research Hub. We see Max here from VitaDAO. We see Albert, who's the guy who I had the interview with on my channel. Albert from Valley DAO. And then we see Laura from Athena DAO. I have an interview lined up. I don't believe it's with Laura, but someone from Athena DAO as well. They'll be coming on the channel shortly. I literally just went to get coffee with someone from VitaDAO, someone very, very, very intricate into VitaDAO. He's connecting me with people. And not low-key, Patrick Joyce and I both share the same name, Patrick, and he liked one of my tweets. So basically I'm in there as well. Just saying. Not actually. I still have to reach out and see if they're interested in stuff. I have an interview with someone from CryoDAO as well. They'll be coming on, not CryoDAO, sorry, Axon DAO. They'll be coming on. I have to organize a lot of them. You can see my DMs are kind of flooded right now. Yesterday was not a great day for me to take off. I got a lot of DMs and stuff to deal with because of that. But I want to show some video from Valley DAO, or not Valley DAO, from Research Hub with Brian Armstrong at the Sora Summit. So this was something with Patrick Joyce, Brian Armstrong, and then this guy who says it's from Research Hub, but I don't think so. I think he's from Sora Summit. I could be mistaken on that. Do you think DeSci can give me, or give a 20x this cycle, maybe in 2024 pickup? Yeah, without a shadow of doubt in my mind, I think that a lot of these plays are going to do way more than a 20x. Way more than a 20x. I don't want to get everyone super excited, but VitaDAO specifically, I think has a 30x in it. I think VitaDAO has a really solid opportunity to hit $100 per coin, which I know is a lot, but we're looking at a 30x on a $30 million market cap is not that insane, especially for some of this stuff. VitaDAO, you have to understand, okay? VitaDAO is funding research for treatments with different drug therapies. One of the funding that they are either about to complete or just completed is to treat the most common nonsense mutation. A nonsense mutation is just when your genes have a random translational error when they're copying it. You have your DNA and it's a bunch of different proteins. You got 4 different types of proteins and each one matches with a coinciding protein as well. When you get a little printer, you get a little reading protein come along these different proteins that are being projected, and it reads and it makes new proteins in your body. It duplicates the DNA. That's how you grow. That's how you function. Okay? A nonsense mutation is when it accidentally reads one of these incorrectly, and that nonsense mutation most of the time is harmless. You have tons of nonsense mutations in your genome all the time. Most of the time they're completely harmless. Occasionally it's cancer. Occasionally one of them will be cancer or a mutation of your body, right? There's a drug treatment that VitaDow is funding the research to come up with, in which it treats that nonsense mutation and prevents it, makes it less common for those things to happen, which is revolutionary. That idea alone is a company in itself, okay? If that treatment is accurate, they now have a drug that they could put on the market and sell to everyone. That drug, the IP ownership goes into VitaDow. That drug could potentially create a company that IPOs on the stock market worth $1 billion. And the whole thing, the IP behind all of it, is in the Dow here. That could have one single component in the Dow be worth $1 billion. So a market cap of 300 or 30 million here is minuscule. A 10x getting it to 300 million and then even going to $1 billion, in my opinion, is so on the table. I think we have to expand our time horizons a little bit with it, because it's possible that it takes like 10 years before we start seeing stuff like that. But we know crypto. Crypto gets overzealous all the time with these valuations. So I really do think VitaDow is going to $1 billion market cap, and I will stand on that. Athena DAO being the only woman's DAO can be huge. I agree. My concern with Athena, we got a file long. Yeah, this could be a good long. It's going against the trend in the market, Johnny, and so I don't really enjoy trading those. But as Bitcoin's just kind of like rebounding here, did you hear that stutter? That was vicious. As Bitcoin rebounds and tries to retrace back up to the VWAP, we could see a lot of these altcoins start coming back up to the VWAP. So finding something that's overextended like that could be a good play. I would ideally like to see an altcoin that has been on top of its VWAP all morning and go long on something like that. So going long on BNB kind of makes sense to me, but the setup's not really there. Everything else is below. My only concern with Athena DAO is that they are targeting an area that doesn't get much funding as a whole, right? Women's research, women's health research doesn't get a ton of funding. And they're a cryptocurrency with research focused on women. There's not a lot of women in crypto, and so it would just be a lot of men speculating on that kind of stuff. It could play out really nicely, and it's been doing phenomenal. It has been doing absolutely... It's been putting in a lot of work, actually. ATH. Most of the DeSci stuff looks similar to this. This is a 15-minute chart for it. So they just had a pretty sizable pullback. So if you wanted to scoop some, 30% pullback is nothing to laugh at. Yeah, my only concern is that it won't get the same hype cycle that stuff like not to be joking about it, but or I am gonna joke about it. Like something like HairDAO, most men in crypto are gonna suffer from balding at some point. Like, and it's just a much larger area to be focused on for generating hype within crypto. If they come out with a good treatment for hair loss and the crypto community gets a hold of it, it's very possible to meme the shit out of this. And it's at a $23 right now. I think, yeah. Came in to smash that like. Let's go, FTW. Let's go. How many likes we at? How many likes? 3 likes? Guys, I might have to end this live stream early. We need to get this at least up to the matching. We got 8 people in here. We got to get at least up to 8 likes. I already liked it, which means you guys got to do this stuff. Bro, Cryo can run like HairDAO. Similar possible tokenomics. HairDAO. Yeah, I think Cryo is going to put in some work. Based off the hype that it's already generated before it even has a token launch, I think Cryo could do absolutely wonders. They don't even have the token yet, so I can't even look at it. Alright, so are you guys down to watch a video with me? 5:45. Are you guys down? Yes or no? Let me add a little poll here. Engage with the audience. Start a poll. Should we watch this video? You're a G fam, appreciate your help. Absolutely, my man. Thank you for being here. I appreciate all of you guys being here with me. We're slowly but surely growing this. This community is taking off. I know there's a lot of people talking about DeSci right now. I don't think most of the people have the grounds to stand on to talk about it. How many, genuinely answer this. How many people talking about DeSci do you think could explain nonsense mutations and the significance of the drug that VitaDAO is funding right now? How many of you guys think that anyone else in crypto has the experience working in the industry to explain what the hell a nonsense mutation is and the significance behind it? You know? I'm just saying. Time is your most valuable asset. Let's do that on 2x. Of course. Absolutely. Dude, you see that? I'm already on 2x. Are you joking? I only exist on 2x speed when I'm watching these things. Oh, man. You have to, like, they're going to talk really quickly, though. People I know of. Only 2 people I know of. Facts. I'm sure there are. Josh could probably explain it. Josh has got like a photographic memory. I'm sure Josh could explain it. All he'd have to do is read a single article on it. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch it. 100% of you guys said yes. Let me toss my headphones on. Again, one of you guys pay attention, please. Somebody keep an eye on XRP or any project that looks like it's gonna rebound off the VWAP. All right. That was too easy of a short. I wanna do it again.
Stuck in your own groupthink, or you're not diluting yourself. And so it's an interesting group of investors out there that are excited about DeSci. They're interested in the intersection, obviously, of things happening in crypto, but also with scientific research. And it's a really cool community of people in DeSci. It's relatively new. There's a lot of cool projects. Research Hub is certainly not the only one. We want to work closely with a lot of those out there. So it's a non-traditional set of investors, I would say. The big venture capitalists are still excited about SaaS and AI and like kind of these big topics. But we got to meet some really bright people who, especially in this case at OSS Capital, who had been through the open source movement in a number of different companies and seen how that had built a great amount of value for both for customers and shareholders. And so when they saw that Research Hub was open source and we were doing DeSci, that was like a really cool intersection for them, and they stepped up in a big way. I also want to give a big shout out to Adam Draper at Boost VC. They were another big investor in this round. And Adam was actually, I think he wrote the first seed check in Coinbase back in the day when he and I met in Palo Alto. And he's always been such a champion of startups, helping them grow and do better. And it was cool to have him. 10 years later, we got to work together on another project. So yeah, Joyce, I don't know, what was your experience kind of meeting with the investor landscape out there?
Yeah, so we met with a bunch of different investors, and I feel like we found like a really good partner in JJ from OSS Capital, Open Source Software Capital. I think like being around people who have been there before building open source projects, and as everybody knows, we're trying to make science more like open source software. So there's a lot of lessons that I think we can learn from the progression of how like the open source software industry has grown over the past like decade or two, and apply that to science. And so yeah, we're really lucky to now be sitting at a table with a lot of people who have actually done that before and can help to like guide Research Hub from their insights. So extremely value-aligned investors who kind of have the same vision that we do for the future of scientific research. So we feel
basically they have a ton of a ton of backing. Like Brian Armstrong here with Research Hub. Brian Armstrong has access to unlimited money, in my opinion, especially as Coinbase stock starts to continues to roar to life, and people who were early investors into Coinbase, like he said, one of those venture capitalist funds who got in early on Coinbase, they have made so much money. It's probably sickening to actually see how many billions of dollars they've likely made. Brian Armstrong could literally just text someone and be like, can you give me $10 million for my new project? And I guarantee you he could get that within like 48 hours. So Research Hub has essentially an unlimited amount of funding opportunities. That's why the coin has run like crazy. Understanding the significance of having someone like Brian Armstrong backing, being literally the CEO of Research Hub, is enormous. This is the second time I've seen you talk about Rose, so let's pop Rose up. Ooh, okay. How small of a crypto is Rose? I feel like I know I've heard of it before, but I don't know much about it. It's continuing to run. It kind of just had a little bit of a VWAP reset. So this low-key could be a good setup, especially as it breaks. If it is to break above its previous high over here, we could see this thing run all the way up to like 16 cents, maybe even 19 cents. Oasis. Oh, yeah. Okay. I know nothing about it, just looking at the chart. Fair. Possibly Research Coin could hit $1 billion market cap. I agree with that. I think that there's a good chance for VitaDAO and Research Coin to hit $1 billion market caps. And they're both sitting at, this is a, what would that be? A 40x? For research coin to go to $1 billion market cap, you're looking at a 40x. A lot of people are going to pay attention to this fully diluted market cap down here. Don't. Not for most of these coins. That's why we pay attention to the tokenomics. I made an entire video on TikTok about it. You have to look at how, I know only 7.6% of the coins are in circulation. You have to look at how the other 98.38% of coins are going to get into circulation. This is not just saying that all of a sudden you're going to get diluted like crazy. This is not the correct value of it, right? Because none of these coins are in circulation. You have to look at how they're going to get into circulation. Research coin is going to take 12 years to get all of the 100 into circulation, and even that's probably cutting it short. I imagine it's going to take even longer. So it's at a $25 million, $26 million market cap right now. This thing is, without a doubt in my mind, going to put in more than a 10x into this bull market, into this euphoric rally. And truthfully, it already has. That's why you got to get in and pay attention to this stuff early. That's why we're aping into CryoDAO and Axon DAO, because if you could get in before it has any of that marketing push, before this, like the first time I talked about it, if you could have gotten in back then, you're already sitting at, what is that, a 20x. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. It's only been like a month and a half. It's been 6 weeks and you could be up at 20x. That's actually kind of disgusting. Unfortunately for me, I talked about it, but I didn't actually get in on it, so I missed out on those gains, but that's all right. My job here is to present this information to you guys. Very similar to with GHSY in the Discord. I said I'm paying attention to this and I think it could be a good opportunity, but it's too risky for me and I don't have the funds willing to dedicate thousands of dollars to something like this. That was when it was at 60 cents. It's now at $1.37. So that's absolutely crazy. Doubled up in literally like 5 days. Rose is above the VWAP, yes, but it's not playing with the VWAP. It looks like it's sticking around with the first extension, which could be a good opportunity, but yeah, it's playing around the first extension. All right, I got two more sections of that video I wanted to play. So we got the 5:45. I want that 10:30. What do you think about Gene? I literally just tweeted out that I don't own enough Gene. I do not own enough Gene. Here, I'll show you guys what I think. I don't own enough Gene, and just point blank. I'll show you guys what I think. These are kind of moon boy numbers, and I get that. These are definitely like aggressive numbers. Look at, there's me in the lab. But where are they? How often does this dude tweet? What the hell? This is what I think. This tweet, it's funny because this tweet is the tweet that got me in contact with the guys from Vita. Apparently, somebody from Vita DAO saw it and put it in their group chat amongst everyone. It was like, this guy thinks Vita's gonna go to $100. And I got to go have coffee with literally a Vita whale. He told me the inside scoop on it a lot. I think these prices, while definitely moon boyish and kind of rely on, they rely on decentralized science becoming a mainstream narrative, which if we saw how quickly people started adopting it and talking about it across X as soon as they started pumping, tells me that it really does have a good possibility to become a mainstream narrative. These valuations will not be based off of true fundamental values of the chains. I don't think that any of these chains during 2025 will actually fundamentally be worth these prices. I think that people will get overhyped and overzealous on most of these coins, and I think they have the potential to run to these prices. So Gene is sitting at 3 cents. I think it could cross $2. I really do think it could. Lake is sitting at 1.5 pennies. I think it could go up to 30 cents and potentially even higher depending on if they can onboard some clients. Research Coin, 50 cents. I think it goes to $11. Grow, $1.50. I think it could get up to 21 bucks. I left out some coins and some projects here, and that was kind of intentional to engagement farm you guys. We're going to retweet this actually. Repost that, get everyone aware of it again. Safe to say you're bullish. Absolutely. Especially because most of these coins, you need, if you want to partake in the community. Here, let's look at stuff. Research Hub. If you want to partake in Research Hub on their website and you want to vote on anything, and you can literally get coins for voting and doing stuff like that. If you want to partake and earn research coins, you have to be holding them. This kind of stuff you don't have to, but if you want to vote on any of the governance, you have to hold some of the research coins. And so that takes up supply off the market. There's already a very small circulating supply. We talked, it's only like 7% of circulating supply. So if half of that gets eaten up, that means the actual liquid market cap is going to be only half of what the current circulating market cap is, right? The part that impacts the price. If, let's say, 4% of the coins in circulation get locked up for voting and everything, then the actual liquid market cap's only going to be like 15 or like $10 million right now. That's way easier to pump. Your VWAP is different than the one I'm using. Have you already put out a video of your settings to use it? I have it, but it's like private in the Discord. Truthfully, I did not change the settings at all. I just went with whatever the standard was here. I think that it's going to be crazy. I'm going to make a shit ton of money off DeSci, and I'm going to make you guys a shit ton of money off DeSci. This bull market, you guys are in the right spot at the right time. I know that I keep saying this, but it's because I genuinely feel this way. I have, over the last year, gotten myself intertwined with some of the biggest players across the entire crypto industry. Josh and Lucas joke about it. I literally just cut the line of crypto influencers to get up to the top and see what everyone's doing from a top-down perspective. It's insane. And nobody's paying attention to me, so I can literally just give you guys all the information that I'm getting from up there without any ramifications. Because, like, I'm sorry, but I'm just being realistic. There's 7 people in here watching me. If I spill some insider information, it's not getting back to anyone that I did it, you know? And so, like, I can just talk freely, not have to worry about anyone watching over me. Because most of the people, to get to the connections that I've gotten to and to sit and network with the people I've been networking with, they have someone that they have to answer to, someone that they have to be subservient to some regards. I do not. I literally do not. I have not signed anything. I have not, like, agreed to anything. I do promos occasionally, but I'm very abundantly clear with that. And, the only, like, grant where I had to, like, say good things about someone was Dfinity, and even them, I tell my honest truth about it all the time. I had that grant with them, and it got me exposure to the inside there, and I got to see how everything runs, and I'm bullish on ICP, low-key bearish on Dfinity. I am still very bullish on ICP, and I still own a bunch of it. Right? ICP, I think, is my biggest bag in my entire crypto holding, which is probably questionable. Now that I said that out loud, I should probably change it, but I still think we'll get way up here. I think we got another 10x coming for it. What are 3 DeSci projects you are most bullish on? Yes, crypto entrepreneur. Thank you. 3 DeSci projects that I am the most bullish on. It would have to be Research Coin. It would have to be VitaDAO. And the third one probably changes every now and then. I'm very bullish on Lake, but I low-key think Gene's got a better opportunity. VXV I'm very bullish on. Yeah. I'll say those 3. And then I added the VXV as just an extra little bonus. All right, let's watch this section.
Another thing that we did really intentionally on Research Hub is we made sure that the site was useful, even if you didn't really know what crypto was and you didn't have a wallet. For instance, a lot of people might come to the site first and they don't even want to create an account. They just want to browse. Maybe they're reading comments or peer reviews and just using it kind of like to read what's happening in their field. But over time, they might be like, oh, I kind of want to upvote this thing. We prompt them to create an account. Notice we're not prompting them to have to have a crypto wallet. If you had to have a crypto wallet to even participate or create an account, I think you see that in a lot of Web3 apps where you have to connect your wallet in the top right. We intentionally didn't do that, and we made sure that anybody could onboard. And frankly, they may not even know really what RSC is underneath for a little while. But if they start to participate more and they start to accumulate RSC, at some point they're like, that's interesting. There's an exchange rate. What is this thing? And some people, they'll kind of grow up the ladder with us. So Anyway, I think it'll be an important asset for Research Hub over time to bring in more people and allow them to really participate in the rewards of the community. But it's okay if people don't know what crypto is to start. We got to kind of meet them where they are.
Yeah, I've been talking that answer too, like talking about kind of like the early career academics who are most likely to use Research Hub. There's actually been, I think, like a really good influence from younger people in academic science where they're kind of questioning some of the like presupposed norms that exist, like peer reviewing for free and doing a postdoc until you're like 35 years old. And really, like, I think like admirably standing up to make sure that they're compensated for the efforts that they give to the greater kind of like scientific ecosystem. And I think that's kind of similar with like crypto too, where, you know, like I've had a Bank of America account that has charged me overdraft fees and has been like pretty not great. And so like part of the reason that I got into crypto is because of like frustrations with the current like financial infrastructure in the United States. And so I think like the target market of early career researchers can really jump in and be like a great user base for Research Hub due to their kind of like history of standing up to some of these like kind of nonsensical procedures that exist in academia.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think something that Research Hub does really, really well is interfacing with the scientists. Like the interface feels really easy to use. Like if you browse any other platform, like it really seems easy to use. And so I would say we really had limited problems with onboarding people because like everyone that came to the platform knew already what to do.
So they're guerrilla marketing. They're making sure that everyone like can actually use the product without having to know what crypto is. So they're able to appeal to more than just crypto. So their TAM is crypto and regular users. And the regular users, by getting on the website and adopting and interacting with the website, are accumulating research coin without even knowing how to get rid of it, okay? So that circulating supply, this is how they issue new coins, is by giving it to those people who are interacting and publicizing and peer reviewing and all that stuff. They are going to, by default, hold on to these coins. Once they realize that they can sell them, they have to go figure out how to sell them, and it's a barrier to exit. I know it's kind of schemy, but it just is what it is. They're going to be holding on to these coins and probably continue to drive the price upwards just by using them. I made a tweet about why DeSci, and in it I talked about this peer reviewing process, peer reviewed for free, closed circle of scratching each other's backs because no one is taken seriously without that stamp of peer reviewed approval. And oh, I can't see who liked it. I think I can. Let's see. I'm exposing all of you guys. Patrick Joyce, that guy who was just talking, 777 followers. Shout out Patrick Joyce. I just think it's interesting because I posted that about the same day that they did this chat, which means it was on his mind, and I was literally talking about it on CryptoX. So pay attention, guys. Pay attention. There's a lot of cool stuff happening here, and yeah, I just don't get how people don't see it. All right, you guys have any coins we want to break down? Anything else you guys want to discuss? Otherwise, this has been a good live stream. We had a successful trade instantly. We talked about the Bitcoin halving. We did not talk about the Iceland volcano, but there's crypto miners in Iceland who were using the geothermal plant to power their crypto miners, and now that we're starting to see an eruption take place, they're kind of having to evacuate. So we could see, this is kind of goofy, but when they take those miners offline, we might see a dip in the Bitcoin hash rate. Temporary, because I imagine they'll go right back up. Barely made it. Dream, we missed you. Damn, Dream. You barely got here in time. I'll be in the cord, yeah. I gotta go to the bathroom, and I was gonna make breakfast for my girl and I, but I'll be in the cord. The Discord. I got a busy day today responding to everyone and getting everything lined up. I know. What the hell, Dream? You think you're better than us now? Huh? Dude starts making YouTube videos as well, and all of a sudden, his page starts growing. He thinks he's too good to come to the morning live streams. I'm just joking. I'm just joking, man. I love you. Thanks, Patrick, for the stream. Absolutely, FTW. Thank you for coming over from Blockchain Basement. Your name stuck with me. When I went on their stream for the first time, your name just stuck with me. I don't know who you are, but I know that you're very quick with stuff. You're very intertwined. So shout out you. I love you too, man. I missed a day. Yeah, I think that's it. Don't sleep on GHSY. Don't sleep on Bitcoin DeFi. Just don't. Bitcoin DeFi is gonna, everyone thinks Sol DeFi is gonna replace Ethereum's DeFi. I'm telling you right now, Bitcoin DeFi is going to replace Ethereum's DeFi. Nothing's gonna replace Ethereum's DeFi, but Bitcoin DeFi is going to explode like Ethereum DeFi did last cycle. Everyone on this stream should feel lucky. Hell yeah. You're lucky you woke up. Go out for a walk. Do something nice for someone else today intentionally. It's a blessed day to be alive, even if it is absolutely freezing outside. I think it was like 50 degrees this morning for my walk. That's cold as hell. Your time's your most valuable asset. Hopefully you found this worth investing into. I will see you guys in the Discord. Can Ethereum be DeFi? Yes.